Going into your freshman year of college can be a very scary experience. It's a brand new set of people, it's a brand new life, it's completely different from high school and all of your childhood before that. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to talk to you guys about every single strategy and tip that I learned from my freshman year that I just finished. I have literally just finished my final exams like 2 days ago, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to freshman year and the best way to navigate it. So today I'm going to give you guys about 6 different strategies to use in your freshman year to better your experience and to allow you guys to have the most comfortable, carefree experience you can possibly have. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. The very first thing that I'm going to recommend that you guys do is you need to be planning out your assignments very thoroughly. To start, I have a very funny experience with this. So my English class that I was taking was like my freshman year English class that I just finished like 3 weeks ago, and we had an essay due on May 2nd. And I finished this essay because I was trying to get ahead and be able to focus on my finals. I finished this essay in like mid-April just because I wanted to go ahead and knock it out so that I could focus on everything else that I had to do. Because final times, yes, there is a ton of stuff to do out of nowhere, okay? And so I finished this essay trying to be, academically inclined, and well, I forgot to actually submit the essay on May 2nd, and it cost me like a whole letter grade in the class. So what I'm telling you guys to do is to go in your Apple Calendar, go in your planner. Both is what I recommend. Both is what I will be doing for my sophomore year. And put out every single due date. Even if the due dates shift, it's still important to have those due dates. That way you can't possibly miss something when it's in a planner that you check consistently. Planning your life is a very important thing to do anyways for me, just to write things down in a planner to know what you have going on next week and the next week after that, any events that you have with anybody. I like to put those in a planner, but next year I will definitely be switching into doing that with my assignments as well, and that's what I recommend you guys do so that you can't possibly miss a date and take a silly letter grade drop like I did, and to be able to lock in on your classes. Another tip going along with that is that you can do as many of your assignments ahead of time as you can. I recommend this because once again, that finals week is going to be rough. It is going to be, you're studying for 4 finals, you have 2 final projects due, an essay due, everything's going to be due all at once. So as much of that as you can not procrastinate and get done ahead of time is going to save you so much headache when it actually comes down to the wire. Now with that, I recommend that you plan out your days every single day to where you have time to actually sit down and work. Don't overload yourself every single day with so many other non-college related things, which are great. Go do those things. However, also give yourself time every day. That way, if you need to sit down and do some homework or work on a project, you have the ability to do that. That's what's going to allow you, with your assignments planned out, to know exactly what's going on and to get ahead of it and not be as stressed when the finals are coming. The second thing that you need to do is go make as many friends as you possibly can. Now, before you leave, let me explain this to you, because I know every adult influence in your life is going to say, yeah, you need to go out and make friends. But here is my take on that. Be careful who you associate with, of course, but also you don't have to go to every single thing. You don't have to do everything like they tell you to do. For example, my college wanted us to go to like 5 or 6 different like welcome to college events in week 1. I didn't want to do that at all because, I was adjusting to life in the first place. I didn't want to tack on 6 events in that first week as well. So it's okay to avoid those things. But what you don't need to do, that I did, is go out and, not make any friends at all because you're just doing your own homework and working on your own stuff. Don't do that. Go out and talk to some people. Because here I sit, as I'm recording this video in May, and I really only have made about 2 friends in my freshman year. Now that's not a bad thing. My social, tank is completely full. I'm okay with that. However, if you are a person that is extroverted and needs more people to run off of, the only way you're going to get that is if you go and do it. You have to go meet people. So don't take this as, I'm your 70-year-old grandmother telling you, oh, go make friends. I'm telling you, you need to meet some people so that you are allowed to see people when you want and don't see people when you don't want to. It's really that simple. You just need to go out and give yourself that opportunity, because if you don't give yourself that opportunity, then when you do want to see people, you're not going to have that opportunity. I didn't really start taking this tip seriously until my spring semester. Now, that's fine, it's okay, just I wouldn't recommend waiting that long because it makes things easier in the fall when everybody is new and it's not just a couple people that are new in the spring semester. But what I want you to do is find your activities, find your clubs, and go do them. In college, there's everything. There's a club for literally anything. Go out and find it and go join it. Go meet people, go network with yourself. You guys know that I discuss business on this channel. You guys know that I want you to be your best self. You can go network with these people too. This isn't just, some any old people to hang out with. This is connections at the same time. And the best thing that I learned to keep in mind when you are interacting with people on a college campus is that nobody actually knows you. Nobody actually knows you, and a lot of times people don't actually care about you. That's a rough thing to hear, but let me explain this. I came from a very small town of, a couple thousand people. Everybody knows everybody. It's the classic Southern slang saying in the United States of America, right? Well, it's true. Everybody knows who I was. Everybody knew some piece of detail from my past that I didn't want them to know, all that sort of stuff, right? But when you come to college, nobody knows what you don't tell them. I see maybe 2 people on that campus consistently. Everybody else is just some random person in my class that I have no idea the name of. And that's how it's supposed to be designed. You can go talk to anybody because nobody actually knows what's going on up here. So keep that in mind as you interact with people. The next tip that I would give you is to keep your schedule a little bit more open than what I did. I like the idea of slamming days of school, and the next day would be a complete work day, school day, work day, right? And that's great on paper. And I'm going to do that in my sophomore year, I'm going to spread it out a little bit more, because what you don't want to do to yourself is make yourself always be sprinting to your next class. It adds a lot of unnecessary stress in your head. What I would recommend, depending on the size of your college campus, of course, for me, giving myself about 20 to 30 minutes between each class gives me plenty of time to go use the bathroom, fill up my water bottle, walk to class at a leisurely pace. I don't have to walk at full speed. It's a lot better to not have to deal with those things if you don't have to. Now, if you're a person that has to, get in and get out of the university, I get that. Take as many classes as you need to in one day to do that. But for me, and for a lot of you that don't actually have to do that, I would recommend that you give yourself at least 30 minutes or so of breathing room between each of your classes to make things as easy as possible. Now, if you're like me, I love taking 8 a.m.s because I like to get up. However, I didn't actually always get up very well. So what I would recommend is that you maintain a good sleeping schedule, whatever that looks like for you. So if your first class is at 9 a.m., I would recommend trying to get up about 2 hours earlier than that, just to have a slow, simple morning, because what ended up happening to me is I had an 8 a.m. Spanish class on the other side of campus from where my apartment is. So I had to drive over to campus and then walk across the entire campus to get to my Spanish class at 8 a.m. So if I didn't leave my apartment by 7:30, I was going to be late. Well, the problem is I didn't wake up until 7:20 probably. So I had to rush every single morning, and it added so much stress on those days that is not necessary. So what I want you guys to do to help you the absolute best in your freshman year is to build a consistent sleep schedule and to keep your schedule as open as possible. Tip number 4 could be its own entire video. It's really that much of a depth of a tip. But what I want you guys to focus on is what I consider, in my life at least, the big 4. That is your fitness, your lifting, your sleep, and your nutrition. If you had these 4 things right, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health will all fall into place. Because when you are taking care of yourself, it is impossible to not feel better. I'm not saying you don't have other things going on in your life that impact your health. Of course you do, and that's okay. That's not what I'm here to talk to you guys about. I'm not licensed to do that. But what I can speak to you on from my personal experience in my freshman year is that when I was getting up at a good time, I was eating a good breakfast, I was, fixing my diet, I started drinking much healthier coffee by the end of the year, which made me not have to worry about, how unhealthy my coffee was. And so what it allows you to do is, keep your health in tune. So if you're lifting, 3 times a week, which is what I normally do, I lift on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I do cardio by playing soccer at least 2 other times a week. Whatever day that is, doesn't matter. You can run, you can lift, you can do whatever you want, but you need to have those two to allow yourself to feel better and to look better, and everything that comes from fitness. So much stuff, guys, comes from fitness, I promise you. And if you have that good fitness and that good lifting, everything will fall into place. Now, your sleep, super important. That's a whole doctor thing, right? You need to be getting 7 to 9 hours per night. I normally get about 7. I'm probably a lot more tired than I should be consistently. I probably need more sleep, and over the summer I will definitely be prioritizing that. But what's most important is that you have some sort of consistent go to bed and wake up time. Mine is normally like 11 p.m. and 6 to 7 a.m. That works for me. If that doesn't work for you, shift it. It's fine. You just need to have a consistent sleeping time to make life so much easier when it comes to your body's normal circadian rhythm and routine. Now, finally, nutrition. Now, this is like an hour to 2 hour video on its own, but you need to be eating good foods, healthy foods, single ingredient foods, all of those, as much as you can do with that, as healthy as you can be, and also not drown yourself financially. I recommend that you do it throughout your freshman year, all of college, and all of life. Just because it's going to be so crucial that you have the ability to eat healthy and get your body right, clear up your face. All of those things come when you eat good food. So I recommend that you guys do that as much as you can in your freshman year. So if you prioritize the big 4, which were sleep, fitness, lifting, and nutrition, everything else will fall into place and allow your experience, your social interactions, your academic levels, all those sort of stuff to run so much smoother. So the 5th thing that I'm recommending to you guys is to understand just how much you are about to learn about yourself in your freshman year. You are taking yourself of 1 to 18 years of childhood, bad, peaceful, great childhood, whatever it was, that is now going to be completely different. If you are like me, you moved a good bit away from your hometown to go to school. I wanted to get away from my hometown. A lot of people our age do, and that's perfectly normal. That's fine. But what comes with that is you're in a new city. You're around completely new people. You're in a new living situation. Your parents might have taken care of you your entire life, or maybe they didn't. I don't know you guys' childhood situations, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, when you get to a new city, a college, any of that stuff, everything is going to flip on its head. Everything is going to be different, and you are going to learn so much about you as a person when you do that. You're going to learn the biggest thing, actually, let me say this. The biggest thing that I was taught is physically how my body likes to do things. Because when I lived with my parents, sometimes I was a little lazy, especially when I was going through some other issues, and they would wake me up. So I was used to not really dealing with an alarm. I would be waking up on Sunday mornings to go to church or whatever, right? That's fine. But I don't have that anymore. And I also have a huge problem of way overworking myself. Like I've talked about in previous tips, I would line up my schedule of classes all day long and be rushing to every single one of them. And what happens there is, a week ago, when we took our last bit of finals, and that first Saturday after, which was now like 4 days ago, I think, that Saturday, I shut down. Like my body forced itself to rest. That will happen to you. You will notice so many changes as you move and go out and explore yourself. You're going to learn about your mental health. You're going to learn about your emotional health. You're going to question things. You're going to become a new person, and that's what you're supposed to do. College is supposed to build you. I'm not a guy that's all for college, to be honest. I'm here for a lot other reasons besides strictly my degree. And I think that's very important, because you're going to learn so much more about yourself and networking and people and all of those sorts of things, just as much as you learn for your degree. And all of those things are going to change you and shape you as a person. So what I need you guys to do is to be prepared for this. Be ready and be mentally prepared for your entire personality, maybe, your mindsets, your physical health, all that sort of stuff is going to change and going to completely flip on its head. And the best way to prepare for that is to just know it's going to happen over your freshman year and be excited, embrace that, because that's supposed to happen. And be ready for it and love it. one of the biggest things that I had to wake up to when I went about this was, my discipline. I had to, like I said, my parents woke me up for a lot of my childhood. So I had to learn, discipline of waking up and going places, getting my butt out of bed, going to see people, not canceling plans. It was a lot of discipline of actually forcing myself to sit down for about an hour a day and work on schoolwork and work on this business and all that sort of stuff. So you have to develop different things. My thing was discipline and habits. That's the main thing that kind of switched in my head about probably October of freshman year, where I was like, hey, if I don't fix some of my structures in life, I'm probably not going to make it much longer in my freshman year. And that's just, you have to be prepared for those things to switch. So the last thing is a bit of a bonus. I wanted to share with you guys some future things in my outlook for my summer and sophomore year that I'm changing, that I learned from freshman year, that you guys could go ahead and implement now before you pick your classes and all those sorts of things for your freshman year. So the first thing, like I talked about in one of the first tips, was to, give yourself room on your schedule. Give yourself room. I would say 30 minutes, depending on your campus size. It can be smaller or larger, or depending on you as a person. I like to go back to back to back still. That's just me, but if you need a break to go to the gym or have lunch or whatever, do that. That's fine. That's needed. And so that's the first big takeaway I would give for you guys. Second big takeaway is to maximize your health and your time with the Big Four and scheduling and all of those sorts of things. Those need to be maximized. Now, for me, what I'm doing is I'm taking a couple summer classes. Now that reasoning is just so that I can graduate a semester early. I'm taking 2 this summer, 2 next summer, and 1 that last summer, and that allows you to graduate a whole entire semester early at my university. So it makes things pretty easy, right? And so I'm doing that, and in my sophomore year, I'm taking 3 classes on Monday and Wednesday. I'm taking 1 class on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, and I actually have no classes on Friday. So that's how I'm setting my schedule up this year to optimize that timing, right? Like I get out of my first Monday morning class at like 10 o'clock, and then I have 2 hours until my next class where I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to do some cardio, and I'm also going to go ahead and have lunch. And that allows me to have a nice little gap in the day to knock out a couple personal health things that allow me to go full speed into my accounting class, which I'm pretty nervous for just because, it's accounting and everybody online says it's hard. Who actually knows? So, what I want you guys to take away from this video is that freshman year is going to be rough, it's going to be life-changing, but it's going to be okay. You got this, guys. Everything will work out well. You just need to take as much information in as you can. As much information as you possibly can. That information, yeah, sure, it will be on this channel. If you want to stick around for that, I would love if you guys would subscribe. It would be great. I will be posting videos all summer long about my experiences of documenting college and going into my sophomore year, all those sorts of things. So if you guys want to stick around for that, absolutely, I would love that. Subscribe to the channel. But watch other stuff too. There's information out there everywhere. And the more information you have, the more prepared you'll be to go into your freshman year. Because like I said, yes, it will be scary, but you guys got this. It's okay. It's just college at the end of the day. So, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. And if you did enjoy this video, I would love if you guys would leave a like on it. And let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know how you're feeling about freshman year in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your fears, your happiness, all that sort of stuff that you guys want to share. I would love to chat with you guys and help you guys out with my experiences on freshman year. And if you guys want to connect with my social medias, they'll be down in the description below. You guys can always shoot me a DM over there. I would love to chat with you guys. Anyways, I love you guys. I will see you guys in the next video.